Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is going to be episode number 5 of our updates. I figure we probably should start putting a label on them, numbering them, so we can keep track of our progress as we continue. Hoping the audio sounds pretty good. I think I'm going to have to do some after the fact tweaks to it because I don't think the balancing is right. But anyways, that's a later problem. So how's everyone doing today? Hope you're enjoying the weekend. Hope everyone did good in the tournament. We did not as good as I would have expected. I thought we were going to do a little bit better. As you can see, we have the stats over on the right side of the screen, just shy of 33 big Q. Continuing to work on our researches. Got a few stones from the tournament there, so we're at 126,000. Yeah, so let's start off by taking a look at the tournament progress. We'll pause this run here. 13th place, little bit disappointing. We did do a live stream for it, first live stream for the tower, pretty exciting. I was a little concerned about the audio on that with it being live, and it actually turned out really good. So I was thinking we were gonna do a little bit better than this. I was thinking I was gonna get like 1,000, 1,100 waves. Oddly enough, and we can look at the run history here. As I've stated, I do an intro sprint straight through. Don't stop it for nuke mastery or demon mode or anything like that. I just run it straight through, see what my baseline is, so I can manage it less. This was my intro sprint run, and I did another 1 or 2 runs, and I mean I couldn't get better than just intro sprinting, which is mind blowing. You'd think with having nuke mastery, slowing down the attack speed when attack speed is a battle condition would have made a huge difference. Or no, I'm sorry, it was enemy speed, not attack speed. But yeah, I thought we would do a little bit better. I was really hoping for a 10th place finish. Didn't quite cut it. Got 13th. So with that, we've gotten a couple keys. Let's hop over to the vault here. Got 5 keys. So what that means is I gotta click this. Can I click this? Yeah, not in the round. Auto restart. 20 away. So that I'm hoping can be within 3 weeks. For sure within 4 weeks, but I'm hoping 3 weeks. Super exciting. I'm not really sure. This kind of leaves me with where to take the stones. So we're just shy of 1,000. Now I've really broken this down to there's only a couple options for these that make sense. We can start off first by looking at the module options. So we have a couple options here. I could work on either of these, honestly. This is going to be just strictly coins, and this will give me a small coin bump with a little bit more survivability with the enemy level skips. So you get a slight bump there, and you get the level skips. And I'd be able to get this to 2%. So, not sure if any of that makes sense. The other module that I think could make sense would be if I worked on getting this up, because then I could I'd have max, and I've spent a couple million rerolls and not been able to get this maxed. And I could get this up to a flat 2 on the duration, which would be that extra second's gonna make a big difference. I don't think there's anything else really important. There would be really those 2 things. GT duration, having the extra second, and getting this max speed reduction. Yeah, because I am just like I've been stuck here trying to get that last 0.25% for a long time. So those are my module options. My other option would be to continue saving and work on Smite, which I talked about a little bit in the last video. I'm starting to see that being a less viable long-term solution. And especially for the amount that it costs at this point, I don't think with 2 clicks it's going to make a huge difference. So I'm guessing that's, over 3,000 stones, or right around 3,000 stones, to have a negligible increase. The other option is working on a click or 2 of that. 1 click would... what do I need? So I need basically 3 clicks to be fully permanent. Or wait, no, that's not right. Can't math right now. Yeah, a couple clicks. So I've talked about that a little bit. I think it'll help with just getting more stuns, especially now that I have CF Plus at, what is it, level 8. And as I mentioned, I went from 4 to 8, and I mean, it helps with things like bosses for me better because they get hit by orbs more, but it wasn't as impactful as I would have thought. It didn't give me an increase in waves and farming runs. I made some changes around the same time that I did that, so I can't say that it necessarily gave me a huge increase in tournament performance for 4 levels. I mean, that's a lot. And there's a lot of talks that Poison Swamp is going to be moving towards being the new meta. So if that's the case, I'd like to be a little ahead of the curve and work on that. I've been leaning on that for a while. The third and final option of where it could potentially make sense to spend stones is more missed attacks. Now, I see it says except bosses, so it does not say fleece. So would that give me more of a chance to miss overcharge attacks? Because in that case, then it's beneficial, because especially my farm runs on these higher tiers, this is a little bit of a weird run. Scatter, overcharge. I went through a long streak of having like the overcharge be the thing that killed me, and overcharge, scatter. So maybe I need to do more scatter amps to, and then it would be all overcharge, which would lead me back to, would that be beneficial? Aside from that, area of effect mastery. That helped with the Flamebot. It helped with the Poison Swamp. I mean, I like the idea of having more Poison Swamp for the tournaments, because the range right now isn't huge. But I don't know if I don't really know if I'd benefit from that as much right now, which is taking me back to maybe I should solidify my Poison Swamps, get that up to 2 permanent, and then look at something like area of effect. So I'm open to any suggestions in regards to that, based on where I'm at, and then also keeping in mind that, you know, in 2 weeks approximately, I'll be re-speccing back into the Golden Bot. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty undecided. I am leaning towards Poison Swamp. That seems to be the thing that would make the most sense for me. A small part of me was thinking about clicking on this because of the last tournament, and even with G-Comp and the Ancestral in the primary slot, it's still dropping a little bit. So that's just one more thing in there. Nothing else has changed here. I see a lot of people have this maxed out, and I wonder if I should. I really thought about maxing that out more before they made the intro sprint wave skip changes to death wave health. But now that they've fixed that, I'm not. It's not as necessary anymore for me. Obviously, more cell income is king in this game, in my opinion. But I think that's kind of on the back burner right now. I'm really thinking this is where I'm going to go. I've kind of hit a point now with my enhancements where I can add quite a bit over here, and it's not going to give me any survivability. Same thing in farm runs. So really the only thing to do is add to econ, but these are all getting awfully expensive, especially when you take into account that I want to be running some of these more expensive labs. Now I'm on a poverty build right now, but regardless, I think that maybe working on some econ to help this could also be beneficial, and that's got me thinking, man, do I just dump 2 clicks into this? You know? But you know, it's wild, because then you have so much overkill, especially when you're using G-Comp with this cooldown, and then if you have a duration that's like maxed, kind of feels like you wasted a ton of stones for the time being. But yeah, I still think I'm leaning towards clicking on that a couple times when I can. Let's see, what else is new? Got everything done here. We kind of went through this a couple days ago. Everything's done over here. I've put a couple additional clicks into the Flamebot damage. I'm still sitting here with the almost maxed out bot. One interesting thing that I'd like to talk about today is I have some serious confusion with how damage reduction works in this game. So I had talked about in one of my first videos about, like, one of my big goals was to see Flamebot. This is when I had like just a basic bot. Is having Flamebot get increased to pass defense %. So this is pretty much what it looked like for the longest time. And here on the 7th, what is this, July 7th? 4th of July. So as you can see here, it's like almost the same. A little bit higher on this one. A little bit higher on this one with the basic bot. Look at this one. It's like almost the exact same, right? So here's where I did the respec. Okay, this is where I did the respec, and now you'll notice my coins per hour, it's about halved because I have no golden bot. So I went from a bot of 28.5 seconds, 100-second cooldown, 1.2 multiplier, and a 49 meter range. Okay, let me just open that up. So you guys can picture that, okay? So my bot, 28.5, 100, 1.2, and 49 meters, okay? And this was exactly the same, but I didn't have the last click or two. We'll just say I didn't have the last click, okay? And these were the stats that I was putting up. This is what my numbers looked like, okay? Basically identical, okay? Now we update, and look at this. It's like almost identical. And I'm like, how could that be? Because obviously I don't understand how the algorithm works. That's why we're having this discussion. But obviously this is not 2 times of 95%. There's a different algorithm. But I heard Zephyr talk about it. It becomes like basically a 99% or something like that. So, and again, covering way more, almost always up, hitting every enemy. So how could you not be reducing more damage? Having a max range, having a bigger range here. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, I just dawned on me the other day. I was like, oh man, I wondered how much my Flamebot's actually putting out. Dude, the numbers haven't changed. Like, how could that be? And I'm like, obviously I'm considerably stronger than I was, I think, because my tournament performance has been better. It seems like, I think, I don't know. But then, I don't know if anybody remembers, I talked about in my previous videos, here's an interesting thing that I really cannot wrap my head around. How come I don't have more survivability? In a farm run, maybe 100 waves, 200 waves more in tournament, maybe. But to go from 11-4, 11-4-12, that is my best. And that's with the regular, with the golden bot, with this basic Flamebot build that I mentioned. I finally was able to match that here. And I'm like, the exact same tiers. And this one, the numbers happen to be just like way higher, which is kind of odd. But then you look at the exact same wave on the exact same tier, and the numbers are completely different. But what I'm looking at here is they're the exact same. So how is Flamebot, with now having this substantially 0.8x bonus multiplier with a almost triple the uptime, essentially, how is it not performing better? No, it's more than triple uptime. Yeah, because the cooldown's half by itself. So I'm like, what the heck? So I'd really like some information on that. Somebody can break that down for me, explain it in the comments. That would be really appreciated, because I'm like, I don't understand how you couldn't survive longer. And even on my milestone runs, it's not like I'm like knocking them out of the park. So it's kind of weird. Another thing that I wanted to mention, All Clouded mentioned to me on one of my last videos that I should work on armor, the Deathwave armor stripping, because that might potentially give me more Chain Thunder reduction, because I'm not wasting those, I'm not wasting those smite hits, taking off armor. The armor's already stripped, and then I can get a damage reduction, do more damage. So it's kind of hard, because I definitely made some changes in that. Like, what point was the lab maxed out compared to when was that, like halfway through? So I'll just look at one of these oldest runs here. Like, we'll look at one of this oldest 16 run, and then we'll look at the newest tier 16 run. So 380s compared to, we'll just use as a baseline of Chrono Field, because that hasn't changed either. So pretty comparable. And then we'll look up here. This is a weird one. Let's just get this one out of here. I don't even know what happened with that. So again, pretty comparable. Not that far off. On this one, it's considerably less for some odd reason. So, if anybody's wondering, Deathwave armor stripping does not seem to give you more damage reduction. Unless their calculations on the stat page are just wrong, because I really am still just, how does a 2x multiplier compared to a 1.2 not give you more damage reduction with the Flamebot? Yeah. So I've been racking my brain about that for a couple days. I don't know if I've really talked about it much. We use Moo Player as our emulator. It's pretty good. It's been kind of problematic recently. Actually, like last week, I had to like pull up a new like emulator in it, or a new whatever device, because the old one was like totally bricked out, dude. It was like causing my computer to crash nonstop, and then you like couldn't log into the tower, which is what prompted me. And then that's when I realized that was what was crashing my computer, because now that I've had this new one, my computer doesn't crash. And this was like, I've been troubleshooting this for like a couple weeks. So something to just kind of keep in mind if you run into any odd issues on your PC, something I might consider. Again, that's my personal experience. And now that I knew that, now that I know that, I would know how to address it like really quick, and it'd be really simple in the future. The new device was totally free. I mean, all the new devices are free, so yeah, just something to keep in mind. Aside from that, guys, let's jump over to our labs and just see where we're at with those. Still chugging away here. One really nice thing, we've racked some cells back up, so we're able to slot a 6x back in there, and I think we got another 6x going in here. I think I slotted it, yeah, so I'll go to 6x as well. I think it's a long one. I think this started off at like 25 days. It's a really long one, but it is a very beneficial lab because it'll affect tournament performance, as well as, you know, anybody that's farming tier 14 or 15 and up where there's battle conditions. So almost there. Not really, because those are really long labs. I mean, I imagine the last one will be like 40 or 50 days. I'll probably end up just having to rush it, but we are up to almost 10,000 gems, so that's going to be really good. I hear there's going to be the lucky banner coming out pretty soon. This is going to be the first time that I actually have more than like a 2,000 stockpile of stones or gems to spend, so that'll be really good. I've been not rushing labs. What's my lab efficiency at? 2.245. So that's something I never really look at that much, but I guess it's kind of important, and it's definitely noticeable how, I mean, I heard a lot of people talk about how that was an inefficient way to spend gems early on, and I would have totally agreed. There was still some times where, you know, you just try to get through a couple, make some progress, but now it's actually, you can actually rush a couple of your last labs on something that are really long, and it just makes a lot of sense. That's also something I was thinking about the other day. Like, I mean, it's been a long time since I played like phone games, but something that I remember about phone games is that, you know, like currencies like gems and stuff for like lab rushing or time rushing items were generally like pricey, and they were a more rare currency in the game, and you know, they would be more inaccessible, and they'd be more valuable essentially. This game, it's really nice how you're able to, in a short period of time, stack up 10,000 gems if you wanted to, and utilize them to save yourself time. I think that's an awesome thing that they do in this game. I think that's pretty much about what we're working with, guys. I'm totally back to my normal setup here. Got the normal farm setup back in. We've respec'd back to our normal farm setup, and we'll just progressively put a couple clicks here, there, or whatever. This is about as high as I've had this before. So yeah, and I think until I respec it back into the golden bot, econ's gonna be a little on the light side. I mean, I'm still doing pretty good here. What are we doing in these 16 runs? I mean, I'm still earning like almost 300 small Q. It's not bad. So yeah, I think that'll just about wrap us up for today, guys. Let me know in the comments where I should spend these stones. I'm not gonna urgently spend them right now because I have absolutely no idea where to spend them, so I think I might just hold on to them. And, you know, like I said, if I spend 1,000 or 1,500 stones right now, there's like basically no benefit. The only thing that I can say would give me an instant benefit is if I were to take them into the generator assist and get the multiplier efficiency. That's the only guaranteed increase. And you know, that could be nice. The other thing was the substats here, because like I said, I think that will really help for getting more multipliers on my GT. Like, let's what am I up to right now? Yeah, 708. I mean, I generally am getting into the 500-600s here. I mean, that's like a pretty normal thing. I was just telling Clouded that he should consider that, because I think he's only sitting at like a minute or something, and his clicks were cheap. I mean, even for me, I mean, the click was like one of the only affordable things in that tab that made sense. You know, I could do 2 clicks into here pretty quickly. So just some things that I'm thinking about. But guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll have more content coming out soon. Oh, guys, I have one last item to go over before we end this. Let me get over to this here. Check us out. We've got Project Rend. So I just saw a Shadow talking about Rend again today, and I knew he had talked about this before, and I just didn't really look at it because I'm not big on the effective paths, Rend. I don't have the time for all this data entry. I did use the run tracker or whatever, that was super basic, the one that had all the crashing problems and like they got like hacked a whole bunch of times and stuff. That one was super basic, and I mean, I started using that when there was like basically no stats. You couldn't check your cells and coins per hour. You needed an outsourced tracker, and I think that's what the tower's trying to do, is make like your important stats be viable. Wall regen, probably never gonna happen. I mean, I think at this point it's just a meme. They're just like, you just keep asking and they're just laughing about it or something. I mean, I don't know. But so I just imported this all today, and I mean, I haven't really played around with it much. I barely played around with it. I like started to input my information, and it was just, I mean, I spent like an hour doing data entry on this thing, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of annoying. I don't want to do data entry if I'm not getting paid or something, you know. So yeah, here's what this is pretty cool. It's awesome that I can do this. Like that it's got the masteries on here. I mean, this is pretty cool. So, guys, this took me like 5 seconds to load this in. You basically put your user ID in, and then it just imports it, and it's like, it's awesome. I mean, I'm not really into this type of stuff, but it's pretty cool. I'll definitely utilize it more now that the information is actually in there. Yeah. Man, look at that, dude. An 11.5-minute freaking tournament, dude. And then I ran multiple times after that and could not beat that. That's absolutely insane. I wish it had some of this older information. And maybe that's coming soon, being able to backsource data. But yeah, guys, just thought I'd show this off. I think this is probably where I'd utilize this thing the most, just kind of planning this stuff out. I like that it gives you this breakdown here. And I mean, that's crazy. 4,500 stones or keys for just the power tree. That's crazy. Okay, let's see what this does. Okay, now it actually looks like it does. Well, anyways, guys, appreciate you tuning in. This is awesome. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. This is Wisco 212. See you guys soon.